Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, I'm John, this is many a true nerd, and welcome to TerraScape, which belongs to that most delightful of subgenres, the here's a landscape made out of hexagons, now make it prettier. You know, things like Dwarf Romantic Islanders, the sort of game that basically exists to make my brain release the happy chemicals, and, oh, this is rather a good one actually. Seriously, I cannot explain why, but you know, just give me a nice landscape made out of hexagons that's very pretty to start off with, and that I get to make, you know, prettier as the game goes on, and basically, I will be happy all day every day. So, let's just dive into this, because, yes, like all good games of this type, it starts off very, very simple, and then suddenly the complexity sneaks up on you a bit. So basically in this game, yes, I've got a very finite building space because we're literally on a floating island in the sky. I do appreciate, you know, the waterfalls over the edge and whatnot. That's just lovely. So, step one, set down my house, the keep. Magnificent. And, okay, this is kind of like, you know, the heart and soul of your empire, insofar as everything you're doing is slowly going towards upgrading this tiny structure. Oh, and there we go, a lovely traditional Martin Bailey castle, basic wooden palisade, etc, etc. I'm going to assume that, you know, my palace right there, though, okay, palace might be overselling it a bit. We need to upgrade this building, this is not nice enough yet, so, okay, how do we go about doing that? Plain and simple, we fill up this bar down in the bottom left. Once that gets filled up, we can upgrade the castle to its next level. Mega flippinificent. How do we earn points? By building more stuff in the worlds. And right now, there's not very much we can build, to be honest. Just a very basic food infrastructure. We're, you know, basically a very small society that's only just getting kicked off. But don't you worry, this is just the beginning. So, right, I can currently lay down gatherer huts, and basically this game's are all about adjacency. Every single structure basically wants to, you know, be located on the right sort of tile and also be adjacent to the right sort of tile. So this here would be a terrible location for a gatherer's hut. Why? Because that's not particularly fertile ground, and there's nothing nearby that's relevant to it. Move it onto this grass down here, we're doing a tiny bit better, but really, there we flipping go. Grassland, worth 15 points, magnificent, and adjacent berry bushes, because, you know, we need something to cocky gather. But, you know, just have a bit of a look-see round, I'm pretty sure. There we go. Now, that over there, that's a bit flipping better. 60-odd points for being in this bit of the world. So, slap you down, magnificent. That is a gold number right there. Just enjoy, you know, the game just gives you little gold medals all the time. That just cheers me up no end. And because that was, you know, a really good score, that means straight away we can, you know, draw some more buildings. But yes, obviously as you start putting down buildings, buildings themselves start adding to the adjacencies. And on top of that, once a building's down, its score is just banked forever. So you don't need to, like, you know, maintain these berry bushes here in order to keep this thing producing the same score. It scores in the bank, so I can now say, you know, put this down right here. So that's now getting 65 points because it's a good spot. There's still 3 berry bushes. I'm also gaining more adjacency from that structure that's already flipping down there, which is just magnificent. And on top of that, it doesn't matter, I'm getting rid of this here berry bush. So down you go at 65 points, but okay. Once again, stuff's about to get even more complicated. Because some buildings, when you put them into certain formations, they merge into bigger, better buildings worth a giant pile of points. So, you know, a very simple one is put 3 gatherer huts together, and it becomes a fruit farm, right over there. Some of these I've discovered, some of them I don't know what they are yet. You know, you just discover these as you go along. So, you know, we'll just put you here, and that's only worth 40 points, unfortunately. But don't you flipping worry, because we've now got ourselves a farm. And as you can also see down the bottom, merging structures also gives you other bonuses. So, yeah, right now, say, this territory round here, the less fertile ground, that's just not particularly good. Arid does not help me in the slightest, so I can now use these free cards in order to make these tiles a little bit nicer. There's now berries growing on them. So if I just, you know, call up some more basic food and whatnot, and we're also unlocking new cards as we get further and further along, which is beautiful, I can now gain, yes, 70 points right here, because we've got those 2 new berry bushes, and we've got a really good adjacency off that farm. Though, yeah, it's only one off. You can't, like, put it here to get a double adjacency, as nice as that would be. So, yeah, you can just go there, buddy, and no trouble whatsoever. And that gets me enough points to upgrade the keep. So, you know what? I'm going to do that right now. And that's not the only thing we can do. Because, yes, in this game, you can't unlock all the techs in one game. You can unlock any 6 of your choosing. So, let's start off with, you know, basic settlement stuff here. Also, I do appreciate that, yes, it would appear we've done nothing to improve the housing down here in, you know, most of my castle. But we have built a much better castle out of stone for me. So basically good, our priorities are currently in order. So, let's take a look at cottages, because, yes, the adjacencies start getting a bit more complicated as the game goes on. You know, berry farms are pretty simple. Put them next to berries or other berry farms. Once we get into, like, you know, building a city, yes, figuring out the exact optimal routes are going to be a bit trickier. Because yes, they get some adjacency from being nearby to food gathering. The food gatherers need to live somewhere after all. But also, they like being right next to rivers, as well as other cottages and whatnot. You know, you're building a town, and they just like being next to a megalith because, I don't know, we're like dealing with proto-religion or something. So here we go, there's a lovely 30 right here, and would you believe, if you cooking cluster houses together, they make bigger houses. So, yeah, clustering are not a bad idea at all. So, we'll put you here, buddy, nearby to some river, and also, you know, a nice and on arid land. There's 25, that's only a 20, but there we go. The whole thing merges into a longhouse, and a longhouse also gives me remove resources. So if I want to get something out of the way, like, you know, say clear some stone out so we can build more housing, we can now do that. And you probably noticed up in the top already, yes, as you actually build more with a particular type of building, you get more progress towards unlocking more buildings of that type. So, we got plenty of cottages, just to slap down more of them over here. That's a lovely, lovely long house right over here. Just keep them piling in for the time being. And there we go, we just unlocked the well. Just to slap down one more long house. And now, yeah, the first time we actually draw settlement again, you're guaranteed to get a well. Which, would you believe it? Yes, benefits from nearby houses. It just wants to be nearby to, you know, things that need water. So here we go, I did leave a tiny space right here. This well's going to be adjacent to 2 little neighborhoods, generating 40 points all by itself. The game just gives me a lovely gold number, and we're making good progress here. Lovely. And anytime you want to, just, you know, zoom in and enjoy the towns, because there's so much detail and life going on. I really love it. Now, over in food, we also got ourselves, yes, a hunting cabin, which is very simple. It just wants to be nearby to things it can hunt. These are a bit hard to spot if you're, like, you know, zoomed out on a bigger map like I am. So fortunately, if you want to, you can just turn on, you know, icons indicating what's where to help you find the right spot. As a general rule, I keep this off because the map's prettier if it's not on. But, you know, if you need a moment's help to find a bigger cluster of deer, and there's a cock ton of deer. There we flipping go. We're now into, oh yeah, wheat fields. Okay. Because yes, this is the point where, you know, you start getting into the world of crossing over between the decks. After all, in its default form, wheat fields are incredibly boring. Just a reliable way of getting, you know, some good points if you lay them on lovely grasslands. But if you merge 3 of them with a cottage, you get a farmstead, which not only gives you, you know, a bonus wheat field so you can keep it rolling, but also starts changing the nature of the tiles around it. All surrounding tiles become grassland. Grassland being precisely what wheat fields want. So you can have farms rolling across the landscape, slowly making it more and more fertile and... okay, me and this game, we understand each other, okay? The happy chemicals are already being released right now. So here we go, we've got this horrible arid region around here. What if I, you know, don't want it to be arid anymore? So, there's nice easy 30, there's nice easy 32, 30s across the board. Then we just slap down one lovely house here, and... Okay, that becomes a farm, and these tiles become grassland, meaning we could just make more and more better farms. And just zoom in, people are just working the farm, and oh yeah, this game works for me. Meanwhile, down by my lovely fruit farms, just keep slapping down the gatherer huts we're collecting too. Even more easy points just for some more fruit orchards. And, okay, back to my house, just for, some upgrades. And we can now have, right, community, forestry, fishing, foodstuffs. But yeah, sooner or later, we're going to leave behind some of these ones. They're just going to stop being available. So, okay. I'm going to say food stuff. I enjoy the idea of food stuff, damn it. And brewing, you say? So, okay, brewing wants to be nearby too. Yeah. Fruit farms and also, okay, other things I've not even discovered yet. Hang on. Here we go. Brewery and 3 gatherers' huts. I can create a vineyard. Lovely. So yeah, if I put you here, that's already a pretty good 105. And on top of that, that could be the starting point to making a... Oh, yeah. Oh, flipping yeah. Hang on. I see how this is going to go. Let's just, slap down some more bits and pieces around here. We've got some spare berry bushes, so we'll just put you down right there. That immediately is... Oh, hang on. That's only 40. Yeah, like this. That's going to be the optimal way to do this. So, you go... Yeah, you go there. Hang on, I need some more cooking of food bits and pieces. There's only one. I'm a tiny bit underwhelmed, but whatever. And on this occasion, I've not drawn what I wanted because I've got a windmill instead. So, right. Once you get up to higher and higher tier stuff, yeah, it wants adjacency to better and better stuff. So, manor farms, royal forests, farmstead. You're not always going to have all of this stuff. So, okay. It also doesn't want to be nearby to forests. Well, I'll tell you what. Make a nice little farming cluster round over here. Slap down, yes, one house that's happy to be on this tiny bit of arid land. And also makes nearby land more fertile. Beautiful. And yeah, as time goes by, if we just keep you away from the forest, we can maybe... Okay, you know what? We could definitely create even more farming around here. Get me, upgraded golden glowing gatherer hut. That just, gets a slightly increased... Oh, blimey. That's going to yield 185 because it's got extra collection range on it. And on top of that... Oh, yeah. Oh, flippin' yeah. That'll flippin' do. Which also gets me... Okay, I completely missed this. That gets me hot fields that you literally can't get any other way. So sometimes you've got to merge to get cards that literally aren't available in any other capacity. So, right. The hot field obviously wants to be nearby to the brewery. Which, hang on. Where did we put the brewery down? Did I ever put the brewery down? I mean, I must do, because I don't actually, have it in my hand anymore. John, it got turned into this thing. Don't forget. And these hot farms want to be, yes, right next to what I've already laid down. So, okay. If I was to maybe leave a space here for another brewery, say, you know what, this is fine. This is all fine. You want to be, yes, you want to be adjacent to other ones. We'll just put you guys in a lovely line right here. That will be fine. Oh, yeah. Oh, flipping yeah. So, okay, just keep food stuff coming in. Windmill has got to be... Windmill's not that impressive yet, to be honest, because these guys don't want a windmill. Okay, hang on. Just lay out, some more farms and whatnot. Okay, more farms are built up here. That's now going to be... That's 75. Okay, that would be 100, but there are some, forests in the way. Well, that's fine. We can just get rid of these stupid forests right there. So that's going to be even more points. Screw forests, basically. And there we go. 100 points off a windmill. I love it. And also, hang on. Hang on. Back to, my base here. Okay, guys, if you want to, improve the rest of the town, you are welcome to do so. I feel like my house is now nice enough. Oh, and you know what? I want community. Give me better and better houses. And, taverns. Well, we've got brewers, damn it. So, okay, I feel like we slightly improved the lives of the people who, work in my castle. Though, I do appreciate as well, we've now got a cocking moat. Okay, so the tavern's a bit interesting, which is, yes, obviously it wants, things that produce alcohol, beer, wine, etc. But it also wants to be nearby to the city. So really, yes, it wants to be, midway between a city and alcohol production. So, okay. If we started our farms rolling in this direction and had our town rolling down here, we could have some incredible taverns along the river here. Also, extra fun thing, if you kind of, build a bunch of things next to each other, they sort of merge into each other, and it looks, from above, like one single mega farm, even though this is 3 distinct farms that just happen to be adjacent, and, oh, I find that very pleasing too. Oh, and I tell you what, just north of, town up here, there is a not terrible cluster for gathering huts. Hang on here, this could work. So, okay, just start laying down some basic orchards. That also lets me, lay down even more berries and whatnot. So, say, another one round about here would be fine. So, just, slap down some berries in this bit of the world. Excuse me, naff off, random creatures. We're doing agriculture here. And in no time whatsoever, oh, hang on, we also just picked up cows, apparently. Hang on, give me some flipping cows, because cows presumably... Right, cows like farmsteads, they like fruit farms, they like wheat fields, they like a lot of bits and pieces. So, okay. Put cows nearby to other facilities, though, the cows don't want to be near, other animals. Hang on a minute here, hang on. There must be a good spot to put some cows down over here somewhere. I'm gonna be honest, I'm a tiny bit underwhelmed, but then again, John, it's because, you've not, invested well enough in other advanced buildings. You need to be, leaving that for now to your other structures are more advanced. Because right now, you can't do, manor farms or whatever. Here we go, manor farm. I can build those, I just need, houses. So build lots of cottages, we should get those. And finally, having slapped down a very large number of houses along the river... Right, sorry, when I say houses, cottages, we've now unlocked actual houses, which is, a pretty important thing insofar as, yes, we need to start building more advanced cities, though, okay. Before we get to that, oh yeah, let's bring some cooking culture to our city right now. We can now build parks and whatnot, and on top of that, okay, I've now got a fountain outside my house, now that's nice. So okay, unlike the plebs who are happy being anywhere in their cottages, houses would prefer to be right next to the keep, and want to be on, this urban sprawl that the keep generates. Oh yeah, they just want to be nearby to basically any sort of urban business in the world. They're very happy, hanging out together too. Let's just keep more of them coming in, because I'm pretty sure if we just cluster them, they form a proper city district too. And that was a cocky diamond right there. So, there we go. Now we're starting to get somewhere. And at some point, yes, we may want to start demolishing the old longer houses. Because, these could basically be moved anywhere. And, we get way more points building out the proper city nearby to my castle house. And don't forget, okay, parks. Parks want to be nearby to... bathhouses, keeps, city districts, etc, etc. Though basically, anything will do. So, okay. Okay. If I just, draw some more houses and whatnot, that's up to 3. I would love to have there we go, there's 5. We'll have, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's lovely. So that's another beautiful neighborhood right there. And then we'll put a park right in the middle of it. Oh, yeah. Oh, flippin' yeah. Now we're getting somewhere. Because, yes, the little plebs over here, they don't care about parks, alright? They're too busy trying to, I don't know, farm so they don't starve to death or something. Oh, and as we slap down a new brewery around my lovely fruit farms to the north of producing some lovely fruit cider, I'm assuming, we just picked up a butcher, though, okay. I'm guessing we're going to have, trouble with the butcher, because it's going to want, things for me to butcher. Though he does love rivers. Everybody cooking loves rivers, so... okay. A butcher right here. That's interesting. Hang on. Could I get some, maybe, you know, better... Ooh. I mean, that's not a terrible spot for, you know, some cows. That's a good cow spot, too. There's some more flipping cows. Put all that together. 165 butcher. Not bad. Not bad at all. And we've even got the next step of, yes, sexy advanced urban infrastructure, culture, etc. A town hall, you say? How many of those do we really need? Like, I feel like this town isn't big enough to justify more than one town hall, but how big is, like, you know, the radius that you've got? Because, okay, at this point, I might want to start thinking about demolishing, you know, old stuff like the well to build more important stuff, like bureaucracy. Though, you know what? You do pretty well right there, my friend. That's nice. Okay, let's talk manor farmer here, because I kind of noticed that, yes, that's going to clear everything on all surrounding tiles. So basically, yes, I could use that to clear out, say, the forest over here. Okay, starting point here. Wheat is happy, as long as it's, like, you know, just on grass. So I'm going to say, this here, decent starting point. The well, meanwhile, that gains, you know, a tiny amount from, yeah, the fields around it, because the fields need it. You are just near enough by to gain benefit from that well. You then gain benefit from, yes, your neighbour, because you like being next to each other. Though, yeah, proper houses don't need a well. They've got, like, plumbing or something. And if I'm right... Oh, yeah. Oh, flippin' yeah. I'll take that, and that just opens up a huge amount of new land for farming right here. Because otherwise, yeah, those trees would have really got in the way and slowed down the rest of my farming. And we've also just got, yes, a special card after that. So, beekeepers wants to be... Oh, blimey. You quite enjoy being nearby to forest, so there's a... Oh my. Oh, flippin' my. Can we beat 235? Because I doubt we could beat... Oh, yeah. Though then again, John. You could do better than that. Just, you know, lay down some more farms and whatnot around here. That spot right there, that is going to be one a hell of a beekeeper. But don't do it yet. Oh, and speaking of special cards, yes, sometimes rather than drawing out of the regular decks, you could just draw a special card. And when you do, just do that, because, okay, farmsteads, manor farms, etc., etc. So, that feels pretty good too. Not as good as, like, you know, my lovely, sexy... Oh, hang on, there might be... That's 200 right there. If I could just drop this right in the center. If you're unsure, like, you know, where available spaces are, you can turn that on and off if you want to help you, you know, find the right spot. So there's a 230. That's pretty good, actually. We're going to struggle to beat a 230, I suspect. So, yeah, you know what? 230 right here. And having built out, yes, the farms a bit over here, I'd say a 265 beekeeper. Yeah, you know what? I can see how the bees would be happy in this bit of the world. That does cheer me up a bit, yes. Though, I just put houses, not a cottage here. Right, that's a bit of a problem. Sometimes if you're lucky, you get demolished. Then you can, like, you know, fix your mistakes and whatnot. Still, we're ready for, yes, the final end of the tech tree here. The only thing you can pick right at the end. Knowledge. So, okay. Now we start, you know, educating society and whatnot. Plain and simple, yeah. Schools want to be nearby people. So there we go. City districts, parks, longhouses, an easy 1 of 4. 5. Beautiful. And I bet, yeah, if we move down over to... here, hang about, we can probably do that's not bad. There's a 105 right there. There's probably, if we just, yeah, spawn a few more of them, never mind, we'll have to wait just a second for that. Though I'll tell you what, we're also swimming in, yes, cottages. And if I want to, I can just burn the card for 5, but honestly, I may as well just, like, you know, set up a small secondary settlement down here. That will be territory. I could just, you know, start snapping down schools next to and whatnot. I mean, this is worth more points than recycling the card, so why not, to be honest? In fact, you know what? That gets me enough points to unlock the market straight away. That wants the keep, it wants city districts, it wants the manor farms, it wants longer houses. Okay. This wants to be, you know, central. kind of running out of, yeah, central space, actually. I mean, this isn't bad, actually. That's not terrible. Then again, 80. I feel like we should be able to do better than 80. And here we go, one more school up here nearby to all these longer houses, so everybody's going to be well educated and whatnot. And, okay, now we're into alchemy. So, okay. You want a weird old range of things, actually. You're just doing experiments on various advanced materials. So, okay, you've got good range, you like rivers. Everybody loves rivers, in fact. You want to do experiments on water for some reason. Okay, fruit farms would be good too. You like cows. Okay, you want to do experiments on beef. This feels like... Oh, blimey. All the river. All the beef. Hang on, can I get more beef down? There might be some more good beef spots before we actually, you know, slap this down for good. 400-point alchemy. If that's not a cocky diamond, then quite frankly, I'm incredibly disappointed. This better be a diamond. Like, you were gold at, like, 100. Like, you better turn into a... There we flipping go. Quite right, too. Right, what can we start merging together, potentially? Because, right, parks, schools, taverns. Oh, that's a cocking university, isn't it? And speaking of which, right, there we go. A library. But I now know what's going on here. I've never built this before, but I'm guaranteed to get a library now. There's a library, a school, that's a tavern. So, okay. Bring me that out of... hang on, that's community, right? Yep, there we go. You just gave me nothing but bathhouses. That does not help me right now. That's not what I need. Oh, and hello, sexy. A monastery, you say? That by the looks of it, yes, would actually be very happy being nearby to, okay, rivers, obviously, but also pretty much any people. That's nice, 115, right there, that's a good monastery. Hang on, what did that actually just do? I didn't read the card, oh dear. Okay, we need to figure this out. This is going to get complicated, but what I need to do ideally is, yes, have some city districts be around here built out in this direction. So this over here can start becoming, yes, a good location to lay down parks, because parks ideally want to be nearby to, yes, a city district. And houses would love to be nearby to a brewery or a longer house if that fails. So, okay, hang on. I need to start off with, yes, the brewery. Lay down a good brewery right here by the river. It makes an okay score because, yes, it's happy just being by the river. Use that to start laying down a decent little neighborhood right about these parts. That should now be, yes, a city district that also urbanizes this area. Okay, let's hope I've got this right here. So, park, and park 2, right there. Good, 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 good. Next, we slap down the library. That makes some good points right there too. One school does okay. Then we just need the tavern right over here. Again, a little bit underwhelming, but slap down the park next to this. And never mind. Screw university. Welcome to the Citadel of Wisdom. Right, 50 additional points. I can clone 2 buildings. Okay, no merged buildings, unfortunately, but yeah, if I just want to, you know, have something else, I could do that. Removes all blockers from nearby tiles and urbanizes the entire surrounding area. Which is good because that means we could build even more city districts around here. Okay, around the university, I've started, you know, building out a proper new city centre. We could start laying out, you know, markets and whatnot. So there's probably not much more than, yeah, a 60 floating around, unfortunately. But we've also got the theatre, which, you know, everybody loves, particularly the people in the city. So, there we go. That's nice. That's really, really nice indeed. Okay. Sometime later, I've continued, you know, the grand progress of New Jonopolis over to this lovely archipelago. Previously, it was just, you know, barren and arid. Now, it is beautiful, full of parks, theatres, libraries, all the rest of it. But we're coming up on the end here. Naturally, you know, the scaling up of the points means eventually you're gonna run out of cards. But before we do, Okay. Two things I could do here. Number one, the final community building, the hospital, which would do beautiful work right here if I could just, you know, fit it in. So, okay. What we're going to do is, yes, use a bit of demolition McGibbles in order to, you know, tear down something that needs to be got out of the way. So there we go. One lovely hospital. Brilliant. And then, finally, one other building. 2 parks, 2 chapels, and a treasury. So I'm guessing that's gonna be a cathedral. And you know what? Building that along here right at the edge might not be the worst thing in the world. Because, yeah, the chapels want to be nearby to these neighborhoods anyway. So yeah, begin dropping down the chapels. They'll be a bit annoyed they're, like, you know, next to each other, but they're just gonna have to flipping deal with it. Drop down park number 2 there. Treasury right on the end. And there we go. One cathedral, and it is cocking beautiful. Right next to this theatre, right here. Getting me points, getting me an extra church card, so why not? That gets even more points for being right next to this cathedral, so sure, why not? We'll just have, you know, one tiny baby church just right here next to the proper church and whatnot. And though that does delightfully let me just to finish filling up, yes, the final archipelago on the end of New Jonopolis over here, yes, I feel like, unfortunately, that's gonna be the end. I'm out of cards, etc, etc, but that's absolutely fine because every time you play, you just open up more and more different alternative things that might show up next time. And that's broadly it. Like, that's the game. There's, like, you know, small challenges, scenarios where there's more limited cards, etc, etc, but basically, it's about the joy of laying down tiles and building towns that just end up looking really, really bloody gorgeous. And, okay, that's just the sort of thing that works for my brain, okay? I think this is cocky great. So, yeah. If at some point or another, I'm interested in doing a super chilled out live stream, I get the feeling that, yes, 1, I might bring this back, and 2, when Claire learns about this game, she's gonna be into it too. So, yes indeed. Do not be surprised if maybe in future you see this again. We shall flipping see. But in the meantime, I've been John, this has been Many a True Nerd, and this has been the delightful TerraScape. Thank you very much, and goodbye.
You know, I really hope we've agreed open borders with Japan, by the way, otherwise they have basically just invaded. I may have picked the wrong fight over... Yep. And my cities, of course, have got even more flipping high-tech, though mysteriously still completely dependent on, you know, an aqueduct. Now, I'm not saying your entire army is mostly already dead, but it kind of actually is.